the World Health Organization recognises World Mental Health Day every year, so for our next feature we're going to be finding out more about how our colleagues over at PLUSS can provide advice, support and guidance for people to manage their mental health. First though, we have a short video from the Mental Health Foundation.
Eating veg, giving up fags, staying in shape, flossing, personal training apps, fitness gurus, staying off caffeine, chocolate, alcohol, whatever. Feeling unwell? See the GP. Need an op? You know where to go. And medical advances mean we're living longer now than ever before. But when it comes to the health of our minds, we are not getting healthier. By 2030, depression will be the biggest cause of illness on the planet. Good mental health doesn't happen by accident. It means reaching your potential, coming off autopilot, being kinder to yourself, making decisions that mirror what you value, making a contribution. Sometimes surviving is all we can do, but we are capable of more. We are also made to thrive. We need to build a society where we experience good mental health more of the time. We need a wake-up call to explore and imagine what good mental health looks like and how to cultivate it. Life will throw all sorts at us. All of us will face struggles. But wouldn't it be great to know how to take care of our mental health better? To know how to get yourself on track? To be able to thrive, really thrive in life? We all have mental health. Full stop. Mental health isn't just about the 1 in 6 adults each week who are dealing with a problem. We all have mental health. It's time we take care of it.
I'm pleased to be presenting this section. I'm very pleased to see it being talked about more. I'm joined now by two of PLUSS's employment support workers from the peer support group, Mark Han and Katrina Down. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Morning.
Thank you very much for joining us. Katrina, would you prefer I called you Katrina or Kat?
Kat's lovely, thank you.
Lovely job. Just thought I'd check. Mark, I'm assuming that's absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine.
Thank you both for joining the show. What a lovely section to have, but a very much needed section, of course. Mark, could you tell us a little bit more about the work that you do with PLUSS?
Yeah, well, we are the Opportunities Mental Health Team. We're a small team. We cover mainly the Torbay, Timbridge and South Hams areas in Devon. We basically work with anybody who's referred to us, who's had a sort of a brush with mental health, basically, and is looking to move forward with their lives, really. A lot of people that we see are looking for work, although it doesn't have to be that. It can be anything that moves them forward, really. That could be into full-time work or part-time work, volunteering, retraining, even just joining a group of some sort or a new hobby which improves their confidence. So it's a whole wide range of options that we can sort of support people with, really.
That's fantastic to hear. What kind of sort of one-to-one support do you think a customer could expect from their support worker?
Well, the good thing is we're not sort of time-bound in any way. We've got up to a year to work with people. We're not working to any sort of targets or agenda or deadlines, that kind of thing. So our support is very much tailored to each individual. So we take the time to get to know their needs, build a rapport with them, and then we can sort of identify what it is they want to do, where they want to go, and how we can help them.
It's really lovely to hear, because every person is different and could take a different amount of time.
Yeah.
To build that rapport as well with mental health, there's no getting around the fact there's still that stigma, and it takes trust to start talking about it when it comes to personal issues. So to build up that rapport must help break that down, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, time is on our side, so we can see people in an environment that they're comfortable with. I mean, personally, I see people in local libraries or coffee shops or wherever they want to go, basically, or in the park, or have a walk along the beach, or that kind of thing. Wherever they're happy, we can sort of put them at ease, find out what their needs are, and see how we can support them.
That really is so lovely. Kat, could I ask you, who is actually able to get this support?
Okay, so as Mark touched on, we cover Torbay and South Devon with mental health support, but we do work in two ways. One's through our opportunities programme, like Mark said. So if you want to access it that way, you have to be 18 and over, unemployed and referred by a medical professional. We also have our IAPT contract, which, is there to support people that are both unemployed and employed. So if you're having problems with work as well, and that's helping to fuel any mental health issues that you have, we can help with that. For that one, you have to be referred through TalkWorks. Again, have to be 18 and over. But yeah, so we can basically help anyone who's 18 and over in the Torbay and South Devon area who is experiencing mental health issues.
That's fantastic. Not really any roadblocks for people then. And it must be very rewarding as well. Could you tell us a little bit about the difference your service is making to local people?
Yeah, I think we're making a huge difference to the local community. We're giving the local community the opportunity to learn and grow and to develop themselves whilst they're being supported, really. So it's not just about employment, like Mark said, where we do help to find employment, to sustain employment, to find voluntary work and self-employment as well. But we look at the whole person, which can be all the barriers to employment and well-being, which may include housing or benefit support, or even just help around their actual physical and mental well-being. We use the 5 areas to well-being, or the 5 ways to well-being, should I say, as a tool with that, to help people get connected to others in the community, to get active, to learn, to be mindful of what's going on around them, and also to give as part of our, we've got a drive towards doing voluntary work and just giving to others to help with mental and physical well-being. And that's why I'm passionate about my job, because it's not just about the employment, it's about the whole person. And which is why peer support is so vital to the service that we provide, really. With that, we're offering people the opportunity not to feel alone, and to meet other people, to like-minded people with shared experiences that they can talk with, an opportunity to be heard and to feel like they're supported in an environment which is non-judgmental. Also, obviously, activities are part of that, which is noted for being great for mental health. And to also just have a laugh and to exchange ideas and to, remember what people are really capable of, because sometimes that can get a little bit lost when we're struggling alone.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, that's a big thing I get from mental health a lot of the time, is that people are starting to realise now you can't just use the same sort of treatment for everyone. Every single person is different. Every person's body is different, and every person's mind is ever so slightly different. And we've all had different experiences. So it's lovely to see how wide a range of sort of ways of helping people you've got there. Could you talk a little bit more just about that? The range of things that you do. Could you give any examples of the kind of more stranger things, or maybe the wonderful things you've had to do to help people?
Yeah, yeah. As Kat said, we a lot of our work is one-to-one with people. Although we also run our peer support group once a fortnight, where those that we see individually meet up as a group, and we just sort of have guest speakers. We all check in and just have a general sort of relaxed group event, basically. Again, it's geared around what they want, so we try to find out what their needs are and what they want to do. If there is a particular, say, speaker that they want to hear, then we'll try and organise that and get them in. And sometimes we just even have a quiz, or just like a social event, a walk along the beach. We've done in Teignmouth. We've done that over the summer. We've done things like bring in a piece of music and play your favourite tune and share it with the group and talk about it, or that kind of thing. Just a relaxing event to try and sort of get people to bond and share experiences, really.
That's really lovely to hear. I like that. I'm a musical person myself. I really like to hear that. Do you find people are breaking the boundaries a little bit more after having that one-to-one support and then coming together than you would usually get if people just got together straight away? Do you feel like there's less of a stigma holding people back doing things that way round?
Yeah, I also think having the activity involved is phenomenal, because it's quite easy if you're walking or you're engaged in activity to open up as well. It's proven to be more beneficial than just sitting opposite someone and feeling like it's a forced situation. Just having that little bit of activity around you makes it a far easier thing to do. But yeah, I think the one-to-one support, they've already met us quite often, and or had conversations with us, so that opens the door slightly. And then meeting other peers and engaging, like I said, in that non-judgmental environment where they feel they can talk about the things that they need to, or to just spend time or listen to other people's experiences as well, makes them feel not alone, and it just helps to people to move forward and to see their worth sometimes, which is something that can be lost.
I feel like I know the answer to this question already, but what's the feedback been like from participants so far?
Very positive. I mean, once people get over the initial hurdle of walking in the door at the group, and they relax and they find out that they aren't alone and they aren't the only ones that are going through the issues that they're struggling with, and they share their experiences. I think universally the feedback has been pretty positive.
Fantastic. Now I'm going to ask Kat, how can people get in touch to find out more?
Okay, so you can get in touch with your health professional, and they can create a direct referral for you. For more information, you can go to the PLUSS website, which is www.plus.org.uk, or you can contact us on the information line, which is 0800 334 5525. That's 0800 334 5525. And I believe there's an email on the bottom of the screen somewhere, so that's another way that you can contact us.
You are correct. It's right there going along. They know what they're doing out the back there. I'll give them that. Great. That's great, guys. Thank you. Please stay around. We've got a short video now with 2 local participants who have been supported by the peer support group.
The peer support group offers a range of activities and different ways of support. Obviously, the main support is from the peers. So the fact that you're with people, you don't have to explain your history. Everyone's there with an understanding of mental health, although everyone's journeys are completely different.
Holly and currently Kat, my support advisors, who I've been privileged to have been working with for several months, have been invaluable to my progress. If it wasn't for them, then I would be in a real hole right now. Plus, they've given me the coaching, support, advice, counselling, friendly encouragement and chats, and above all, building on my confidence to undertake tasks and opportunities in the community.
I've made a lot of friends, and during the peer support groups, I've been involved for quite a while, and it's amazing because everyone is from completely different backgrounds, completely different, careers or work, all different ages. I feel that my confidence has improved from being involved in the peer support group, because when I'm not so good, my anxiety can be really high, but it's also, the peer support group has been a constant to kind of be somewhere to go when your anxieties are really high. and that you can just be yourself. So when you're finding it hard to be confident in the rest of your life, there's always somewhere to go when it's difficult at those points. But it was with Plus that they helped me then to kind of go forward, to get the skills and experience to kind of apply for jobs, to look for jobs, experience with interviews. And then I was getting so much from the peer support group, and mental health's always been a big passion of mine partly because of my own experience, that I then actually went on with a few others in the group and we did the Mind Peer Support Facilitators training. So I completed that a few years ago, and I'm actually now in the process of becoming a volunteer for Plus.
To me, the benefits of using the peer support group is firstly, it's being around like-minded people who have been through similar, but in some cases different situations, but they have the understanding and compassion and empathy, which is very hard when you're around friends and family who haven't experienced such issues. So the main benefit is the fact that the people I've met have been absolutely lovely, and the support workers who run the groups are amazing too. So it really is getting the best of both worlds and getting out in the open and lovely fresh air and chatting and socialising. But above all, it's created lovely opportunities and experiences, and with things being so depressing for me in many ways, it's given me something positive to look forward to every couple of weeks.
What a lovely video. Kat, we've just seen how the support that Erin and Chris have received through the peer support group is hugely beneficial to their well-being. Would you say that there are certain stigmas associated to mental health? And if so, what would you say are the most common ones?
Yes, I think there are still quite a few stigmas around mental health. I think we've come a long way, but I still think there's a long way to go. I think it's very easy to trivialise mental health, and I think there's a lot of stigma around the ability or the consideration that you're able to change or control mental health, which is a common misconception that it's a choice to have mental ill health sometimes. We know that's not the case. And although there's things that we can do to help it when you seek support, that it's not a choice to have mental ill health or a choice to be another one's lazy. That it's not a choice that you make to not attend things or do things. It's something that's controlling you, not something that you have control over. I think there's common misconceptions around positivity. I think positivity has its place, but I also think there's a lot, and we're learning more about toxic positivity and the detriments of constantly thinking positive. So I think that has its place in the stigmas around mental health as well. I think the media still have, or they portray mental health still quite negatively. And I think that fuels the misconception that people with mental health are a danger to themselves or to other people. And although that's, the case in a very small percentage of people, it's not the case widespread. And that needs to be changed. And I think also that there's this idea that people need fixing with mental health, when actually quite often they just need to be heard and accepted and supported. It's not that anybody can fix another person. So it's just accepting someone and allowing them to be heard, really. And I think all these feed into self-stigmas, which is why a lot of people don't seek help or don't talk for fear of judgment, or fear of not being liked, or whatever it is that the reasons that they won't open up. I think it feeds into something within themselves. And I think there's also a misconception that it affects our capability to do things. I think capability is something that we have regardless of whether you have mental ill health. It's our capacity to see that ability and to utilise that ability sometimes, but we still have the abilities that we had before, mental health issues become a thing for us. So yeah, it's about understanding the difference between capability and capacity in people, and getting rid of that stigma that you lose your capability to do things.
Such good words there. I couldn't agree more with a lot of things that I've seen and heard myself with different people who've got different mental health issues. It's so lovely to see that all these kinds of things are being addressed and understood better and better as each day passes. Mark, the term mental health is a very broad one, as we all know, and people often think it's about depression and anxiety, but in fact we all have mental health just as we have physical health. Could you tell us a little bit more about how mental ill health can actually impact our well-being?
Well, our mental health does not define us, but it is part of our makeup. And so it's really important to manage it and look after it the same way that you would with your physical health. You go to the gym, you go for a walk or whatever. But with mental health, I think one of the key things is to be kind to yourself and give yourself the time to do the things that you enjoy doing. Mindfulness, taking the time out to focus on the things around you and the things that are important to you. As you say, there are many degrees of mental health. A bulk of people that we work with, I've got to say, are, as Kat said, it's anxiety, depression, that kind of thing. Most of it, with time and support, can be overcome, or at least managed. And one of the good things about World Mental Health Day and events like this is raising awareness. And when you think that there's over a million people who are awaiting support in this country, there's a need for much more resources and input to support these people. And if anything like this raises that awareness and increases that support, then it's a really good thing.
That's a rather shocking number, over 1 million people waiting for support. If that doesn't make people's eyes open, I don't know what will. I want to bring things back now to be maybe a bit more positive. Obviously, everyone has different circumstances in life. I'm going to ask you both, if you could sum up some of the good bits of advice to help look after anybody's well-being in general, what would that be? I'll start with you, Mark, if that's all right.
As I said, I would say be kind to yourself and do the things that you enjoy doing. That's one of the key things to me, whether it's a hobby or music or going for a walk, anything which you enjoy doing. It's so important to manage your time and build these things in, I think, because if you just focus on one thing, on work, then that's not a good road to go down. So it's all a balance, really. The whole of life is a balance between work and looking after yourself.
I couldn't agree more with that. And Kat, what about yourself? Just a general bit of advice you could give to anyone for mental health.
Yeah, as Mark said, for me, it's all about being kind to yourself. You've got to make yourself a priority. You can't give to others what you don't hold for yourself. So you need to look after yourself. But I also think, just to elaborate on that slightly, there's something that I talk a lot about, which is thinking, being and doing, and making sure that you have time for all those things. So if you are, having problems with mental health, making time to do things, making time to sit and be, because that's really important, to just relax and to, give your brain time to process, and then also time to think. So yeah, that's a simple one: thinking, being, doing.
Fantastic stuff. Well, thank you both for joining us today. Obviously a very sensitive subject, but maybe it shouldn't be so sensitive, and that maybe be one of the problems. But either way, Kat and Mark, thank you so much for joining. It's been lovely chatting with you, and I really hope you come back again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely job. Thank you both very much. Well, guys, that's it for this section today. A big thank you again to my guests, Katrina and Mark. What lovely people, and definitely a subject that, while it feels like we go on about it all the time, it's unnecessary. We need to go on about it.